Hi everyone, this is Dave Prosser. I'm partners with Mr. Hebler in the Pro Hebler Fighting School in Gardnerville, Nevada. Sitting beside me is Grandmaster Dave Hebler, and he just wants to say a few things. I'd like to ask him a couple of questions, and hopefully you guys will be interested in what he's going to say. Speaking of the internationals, now you were at the first internationals with Mr. Actually, you were involved in creating the first. Am I correct?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool story. I got a call from Ed Parker. This was in 1963. 63. Called me up and said, come on over to the studio. He said, I need to show you something. I said, what is it? And he said, just come over here. I said, okay. Now I live 20 miles away, you know.
And he wanted you to come over to his house, is that right?
No, over at the school.
Over to the school, the studio, okay.
So I drove over, and he said, get in the car. I got in his car. And off we go. And I'm thinking, what's going on? I couldn't figure out what. And he's driving down the freeway with that old Cadillac of his. And he's going about 90, and he's, acting at me like this. I mean, I wasn't really too worried. I mean, it was Ed Parker, driving the car.
Right.
And we ended up at Chuck Sullivan's house. And I think Chuck lived in Bellflower at the time. I could be wrong, but it was, right around there. Anyhow, Chuck comes out of his house and he gets in the car and it takes off with the two of us now. And Chuck is looking at me going, and I'm looking at him going,
like, what are we doing?
I don't know, we don't know. We ended up at the Long Beach Auditorium. Which doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Okay? And we walked in, and we're standing in the middle of the auditorium, and Ed Parker said to the both of us, this is where we're going to hold the first International Karate Championship next year.
Really?
1964. And sure enough.
Wow. Now Long Beach at the time, it was run down, wasn't it? Wasn't it a
that whole area was kind of a tough area. It was near, the Pike was there, and that was notorious.
Why did he pick that? Why did he pick the
I don't know, I think he got a deal.
Got a deal?
And he knew the mayor.
Oh, okay.
And a few of the councilmen, and they, said, come on, and they gave him a deal.
And that was the beginning of the international.
That was the beginning. It became, I think, there was one time we had, for a number of years running, we had 6,000-7,000 competitors.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got their names recognized because of the internationals.
Oh yeah, you had to be there.
Yeah.
You had to be, everybody had to be there. So, I mean, we would, everybody would meet there every year, and it was hadn't seen everybody.
Right, it was like a reunion.
Yeah, how you doing, how you been,
right.
blah, blah, blah. So it was like a homecoming for a lot of people. And it truly was international. Ed Parker really made it that way.
Yeah.
He brought in other styles and gave them an opportunity.
He really thought outside the box, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did.
He was beyond his time, really, for such a young man.
Yeah.
Being as good as he was for that young.
Yeah.
And his background, was it Kenpo or Judo or what was it? Do you know anything about that?
Well, I don't know about his Judo background other than I know he was a black belt in Judo.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He trained with Wing Chao in Kenpo. And Chao was really a badass.
Yeah.
He wasn't a very big man, but he was a...
Did you meet him? Did you meet Wing Chao?
I
never got to?
No, I never did. I wish I had him, because he was, he was my instructor's instructor.
Right.
So that was...
and that was Kenpo that...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I think it was a lot more Okinawan and Japanese.
Right. Doesn't Kenpo have some Shotokan background or something? It's very similar in a lot of ways. Right?
In those days,
back in the day, yeah.
we looked exactly like Shotokan.
Back before we had all the techniques and all the forms.
Yeah, we did it just like they did. And
Is that the way you trained when you started? Was it a Shotokan feel to it?
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it was a hard
And then it just
evolved. he started adding Chinese influences and more circles.
And you guys, Mr. Sullivan, a lot of you guys, the originals with Mr. Parker, you were a big part of creating the Kenpo system, if I'm not correct. I mean, you were there with him. Am I correct on that, or?
Yeah, it's a little bit involved. The story. I'll go ahead and tell you if you want to hear it. In 1960, Ed Parker lost all of his top instructors, all of his black belts, all of his brown belts, and even a few of his white belts. They all left him, all on the same day, to go train with Jimmy Woo. Now,
And Jimmy Woo is?
Jimmy Woo. Yeah. He, Jimmy was instrumental. He was in the school teaching some stuff. That's where the book set came.
Sure.
Yeah, I learned the book set from Jimmy, actually. But
Which
anyway,
a lot of people have lost the book set. I don't know many people. I know the book set, but I've been in it for 40-some years.
Ed Parker outlawed it. You know, after the thing. But
Now, I think the book set, the Tracy system, I believe they call the Panther set. I'm not sure, but I think they've kind
that
of,
could
they kept
be,
it with
yeah,
them now,
I'm
the
not
Panther set or something like that.
anyhow, what happened is everybody left except for 3 people. Sterling Peacock, Chuck Sullivan, and myself. And at least initially, and for some little time, that's all there was. And we were jumping around back and forth and, you know, trying to cover all of the classes,
Right.
you know, back and forth, you know, in LA. And Chuck gravitated towards the LA area, and I gravitated towards the Pasadena area. And that became kind of our bailiwick, you know.
What about Sterling?
Sterling was just bouncing around, you know, who knows what he was doing.
Now, you're Sterling Senior, correct?
Yeah.
You're Sterling Peacock Senior.
So the truth of the matter is that Ed Parker took that, all of his guys leaving him. It was like a stab in the heart for him. I mean, he took it that way. Oh man, it hurt. And he took it to the grave with him. But we persevered, and without sounding like a jerk, the 3 of us, under the direction and leadership of Ed Parker, really did create the path that everybody in Kenpo is walking on today.
Right, and it's a lot of people
Because
throughout
if it
the
hadn't
world.
have been for that core group of people,
Right.
Kenpo might have died. I mean, who knows? You know, now, I don't really want to pat myself on the back, you know, with that, or sound arrogant or anything like that. It's just the way it was.
Right.
You know, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. If that's the right way to explain it, I'm not quite sure. But it led to other things, some good, some not so good.
No,
You know,
ups and downs of life.
Yeah, whatever. But you know, how many million people, millions of
Came from that core of
students, you know,
people.
came from that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a measure of pride.
Right.
You know, even though I didn't actually start out to create it or anything like that, it just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened to me. So that's how that was.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do videos up on our website. It's the DHKKA, the Dave Hebler Kenpo Karate Association. We have a website and also a Facebook page under that, and also the Pro Hebler System. We have a Facebook page on that. We're going to be putting videos up every couple weeks, and if anybody has anything they would like to ask Mr. Hebler, anything in the Kenpo world, I'm sure he could help. I'm sure he knows. We want to talk about some of the greats that have been in Kenpo, Grandmaster Ralph Castellanos, Master LaBounty, all of these guys. I mean, you know, Bob White, Dave knows them all, and I'm sure he has some great stories. So, you know, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you the next time around. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.